Hey guys, it's me and our gaming, and welcome back to another Fortnite seasonal recap. Today is, of course, Chapter 3, Season 3. We're going to be going over everything that's happened this season, from collabs, story, other events, anything. It's going to be a crazy video. I've, of course, put a lot of time into researching, recording, editing this video, so please do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be very much appreciated. And we're just going to head straight into it, starting with the collaborations this season. So the first collab of the season was another Spider-Man skin. I think that is like the third or fourth one. I don't know why they're doing so many. But this was the Spider-Man Zero outfit, which is actually a collab with the Fortnite X Marvel comic book series, which is interesting. Next collab was another Soundwave series concert. By Jen Hoshino, I think I'm hopefully pronouncing that right, who is a Japanese artist. It was actually quite a good concert. I did of course do it, not only for the challenge at the end, which was collecting the coin, and then you were rewarded another spray, Soundwave series spray. But as you can see, the clips on screen right now, it was actually quite a fun concert. It was quite vibey, the music was alright, it was good, yeah. Next, they did an actual official Among Us collab, which added the crewmate back bling and a dance from the Henry Stickmin game, which is another game by the same developer, in a sloth. Next up, we already had Darth Vader as the tier 100 battle pass skin, but he was also added onto the island as an in-game collab. They basically added his ship that like flew down at the start of every game. It landed in one of a few set spots, and you could go there and get E11 blasters from special like Star Warsy chests, and there were a bunch of stormtroopers, or you could actually kill Darth Vader himself and get his lightsaber, which you could throw in stuff. I don't think I ever used it because I think people found that it was not that great, but you know, it was still there. Then they did a further Naruto collab, and they added 4 more skins whose names I'm just not going to attempt to pronounce, but they did that whole thing. I don't really know why, but they did. The next collab was an emote similar to the Pac-Man emote that we saw at the end of last season, but this time it was for the game Galaxian, which is just another old game. Then they did another collab with Cause and added the Cause Peely skin, which was quite an interesting skin. I think they also added like a glider and a back bling that were Cause, I think. I don't really know what Cause is, so I mean...
I'm counting down until the day I see your eyes in mine. I'm apart from you. I always know what my heart will do. I'll be yours till the end of time. Forever you will be a friend of mine. Life is strange, changing constantly. So if you stray far away from me, here for you is always where I'll be.
Then the secret skin for this season's Battle Pass was released, and that was, of course, Indiana Jones. As you can see here, he had his skin, he had a bunch of, just all the cosmetics and another style there, of course. And you obviously had to do challenges for all of these, which I'm just going to go through most of them now. And there was also an in-game item added, the grapple glove, which was pretty much a copy of the Spider-Man swinging things from last season, but a bit worse. And there was, of course, a trailer, so I'll show you that quickly. So to go over the challenges. The first challenge was to collect the Durburger relic from the temple and the ruins in a single match. And that gave you the back bling as a reward. The next challenge was to search chests and shifty shafts for a banner icon. Next one was to make a boulder roll for 100 meters in a single match, which rewarded you with the emoticon. Then for the spray, you had to stash an exotic or mythic item in a tent. For the glider, which is a pretty cool glider actually, you had to finish top 5 in a match. Next was to damage opponents with a pistol for the loading screen. The skin itself and its bonus styles were just for like doing the quests. Like I think the skin was to do 3 quests and the bonus was to do all of the quests, the 10 of them. For the emo, you had to find the secret door past the main chamber in Shuffled Shrines. And to do this, you had to actually unlock the main vault in Shuffled Shrines, which was a POI added, which is similar to a bunch of the POIs where it changed every match. There was like 4 different layouts and it just changed every match, which was a really cool concept they did this season. And this particular location, there was like 4 puzzle pieces dotted around. You had to find them, and then it gave you the code to open the main vault door. Once this opened, there was like this long tunnel. There were poison traps and pressure plates you had to avoid. It was a lot of fun, actually. And meanwhile, Indiana Jones music was playing all the time. And to actually find the secret door, you had to like go to the right through a secret gap in the wall. And then you found the door, and if you emoted at it, it opened. And it gave you a bunch of cool loot. And then when leaving the vault, you could collect this tomato head statue thing, which was basically, it just gave you some gold. But when you left, it activated a big boulder that chased after you. And it was very intense, and as you'll be seeing, it was a lot of fun actually. It was a great little thing they added. The next collab of the season was for the release of Thor: Love and Thunder, the new Thor film. It was just pretty much a couple skins based off the film. It's just a Thor and a female Thor. So yeah. Then there was a John Cena collab, which was very unexpected. Then for the August Crew skin, it was actually another Wolverine skin. Again, being the Zero style based off the comics. And next up was the huge Dragon Ball collab, which has been going on throughout the season, pretty much after this point. It added 4 skins, a bunch of quests, a house on the island, which can also be seen in the lobby screen for that period of time. And it also added the Kamehameha and Nimbus Cloud mythics into the game, which were a lot of fun to use. But first, I'll just show you the trailers for this event. So basically, in terms of the challenges, they actually did a very interesting thing. There was like a new set of 4 challenges every day. If you completed 3 of these 4, you earned a Dragon Ball. If you got 7 of those Dragon Balls, you earned the Shenron Glider, which was a very cool like dragon glider. And each quest also grants you power, and there was like a mini battle pass added in which you could earn other rewards up to 120 million power, and each quest gave you about 3 or 4 million, I think. So the first challenge was to visit a familiar training location. Next was to buy an item from a Dragon Ball vending machine. Travel distance riding a Nimbus Cloud. Destroy objects with a Kamehameha. Damage enemy players with the Kamehameha. Join a versus battle in different matches, which had multiple stages, and during this time was pretty much the replacement of bounties, these versus matches. Win a versus battle, which also had multiple parts. Complete the desert time trial. Use the Kamehameha to destroy a small car and then a big rig semi-truck. Collect a Dragon Ball in Dragon Ball Adventure Island, which was like the creative map that was made for this Dragon Ball collab. Complete the Mushroom Obstacle course. Damage opponents in a single match, which also had multiple parts. Open Capsule Corp capsules. Travel 500 meters on foot in a single match. Swim in icy water. Gain health at a campfire. Travel distance in a vehicle on asphalt. Hit headshots while aiming down sights. Go fishing at Leafy Reef, Mighty Monument, and Loot Landing. Restore health by eating fish or meat during a versus battle. Eat a fruit and a veg. Travel distance sprinting. Regain health in a tent. And lastly, take a dip in the water at Sunburn Shacks or Beach Bash. So yeah, there were a lot of challenges, and all of that rewarded you a couple of emoticons, a couple of sprays, a back bling, 5 actual level ups for the battle pass, and a couple of emotes, which were pretty much the same emote, just kind of slightly different. So yeah, and of course the Shenron Glider for getting all 7 Dragon Balls. So around this time as well, the RLCS, the Rocket League like championship, was happening.
About all the work these players put in.
So there was actually a few creative-based Rocket League challenges because Epic Games own Rocket League, of course. These challenges gave you a back bling, a glider, a spray, and an emoticon. They were all quite cool. The next collab was an Icon Series skin for the NFL player Patrick Mahomes, and there were a couple trailers for that. Next up was a collab with Destiny 2, which was unexpected and a bit odd. This added a creative game mode, I think made by Team Power, which was interesting. and 3 skins, the Exo Stranger, Commander Zavala, and Ikra Ray, all from Destiny 2, and there was of course a trailer for that as well. And lastly, for the collab section of this video, there were a couple DC skins towards the end of the season. We got the Starfire skin from Teen Titans and the Dreamer skin, which I think is a character from Supergirl. Okay, so next up in this video, we are gonna go over any other events and challenge sets and other stuff that's happened to me, particularly this season. So early on in the season, there was a free quest pack for PC players, which was just on the Epic Games store, which awarded the Tectonic Complex skin. This did eventually come out in the store, I believe. Next, there was a set of quests based on a bunch of creative maps called Island Hopper. They were quite easy quests, and it's pretty much just a promotion for creative to try and get more people to play it. This gave you a spray, an emoticon, another spray, a wrap, and a cool wingback bling, and a pickaxe. So I mean, there was quite a lot of stuff, all for free, so that was nice. Then when Fall Guys became free as Epic bought it, they did a crossover where if you played rounds in Fall Guys, you earned rewards in Fortnite up to 100 rounds. So you could earn a spray, an emoticon, a pick, a backbling, and even a skid, all for free with just a bit of effort. It did take like a few hours to get those rounds in, but I of course did it. It was a bit of a shame though that the skin was just like a Mancake style skin rather than like an actual Fall Guys based skin. But you know, we move. It was around this time as well that I hit tier 100. Around mid-July, and actually I was on holiday at the time, so sorry if the recording is a bit scuffed, but I did this of course with the help of the 25 tier bundle. So yeah, Darth Vader in the bag. Then there were the big No Sweat Summer and Rebuild the Block events. These were basically just the big summer events for the season.
Kinda hazy today, got me doing my thing, acting crazy today. On the town, getting down, after making my way. I'm skating on them, do the baking on them. Got some brand new kicks with the laces on them. I'm just staying honest, being patient on them. Got me chilling with the squad, no complaining on them. I just dip when I wanna take trips, when I wanna do flips, when I wanna come kick. If you wanna like that.
They had a bunch of different summer themed challenges, giving just a bunch of rewards, and there were a few like voice lines about them when you jumped out of the bus. So I'll just show you all those voice lines now.
No Sweat Insurance. Beach not guaranteed, cooling effect not guaranteed, fun not guaranteed. See No Sweat Insurance terms of service for details. Insurance is not liable while using No Sweat Insurance branded party swag. This includes ice cream slip and falls, hot dog sand, umbrella impalements, beach ball concussions, and work oopsies. No Sweat customers can find a full list of coverage exemptions on pages 83 to 145 of their policy. Have a sweat-free day. No Sweat Insurance can't rebuild tilted towers without your help. I mean, we literally could. We have 8 trillion bars, but we want to buy more private choppas. Join the party, help our marketing team get the word out, or vote on your favorite tilted redesign. And if you want to give us more bars, we've got a policy with your name on it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
During this time, there was also like a cool fireworks show thing that happened every, I think it was 5 minutes, maybe even less, over at the summer area that was added, which is by like the big foundation leg monument. It was actually quite a cool fireworks show, to be honest. So yeah, that was happening. Now onto the challenges. So starting with the No Sweat Summer challenges. The first one was to just land during the event. Next was to carry a No Sweat sign and place it at a sponsorship location. Next was to complete a lap around the boat race circuit. Emote at different promotional dance floor locations. Make a character dance to a boogie bomb. Catch 3 seconds of air while driving a boat. And I did this quite smart and used the big air vent thing at the monument. Just saying, it was cool. Throw an ice cream cone at different locations. Remove No Sweat signs from recalled products and place them in an official bin. Pop No Sweat Summer inflatable objects. I think this was towards the end of No Sweat Summer now. Bust through different doors in different neighborhoods. Fire off the firework flare gun at Mighty Monument or Tilted Towers. And lastly, destroy large sea buoys with boat missiles. So yeah, 3 of the rewards for all these challenges were just different variants of the Snow Crunch and Back Bling, which is just like a snow cone type thing in a cup, slushy type thing. And there was also an umbrella rewarded, which is cool. A cool emote, which was another sign spinning emote, and a lobby music track. The Rebuild the Block event was based on rebuilding Tilted. The public voted on which community made design to build for each destroyed building, and those were built by the end of the season. So the 3 challenges were to donate bars to vote, kill players during the event, and survive storm phases during the event. So each quest had like 5 stages, and it was just more of a like telling you to play the game challenge back. And the rewards for this were a contrail, a pickaxe, and a back bling. So the next thing that happened in the season that I did was buying the Phantasm level up pack. I bought it based on the fact that I didn't think I'd get to level 200, but as you can see, I'm now level 242. So the 28 levels that this pack gave you spread over 4 weeks didn't really help me. I didn't really need it, but it's still a very cool skin, and I'm glad I bought it, to be honest. So each week you had to collect like different level up tokens, and each week was actually a different element. So for the first week was fire level up tokens, the next was earth, and then air, and lastly water. And these were pretty much like in the locations based on the element, which was kind of interesting. Next, there was the Play Your Way event, which was similar to the Island Hopper one in that it was just a creative promotional event pretty much. To complete 10 of the 13 challenges to get all of the rewards. These rewards were 4 different styles to the old skateboard back bling, which, may I say, I have all but one of the styles, which I think is pretty impressive because most people don't even have like 5 of them, and I've got all but one of the styles. 2 loading screens were also rewarded for this event, a weapon wrap and a pickaxe. So during this time, I also reached level 200, and so I claimed the last bonus style, of course. So as you can see, I have every single bonus reward, every single battle pass thing, and I've also done all of the weeklies. So I have done all of the snap things, So I have earned every single Snap cosmetic, which is great. Lastly in the season, there was a Rainbow Royale event celebrating Pride. There was a bunch of free cosmetics in the store, some from the old Rainbow Royale event they did like a few years ago, I think. Or not a few years ago, maybe like a year ago, I think. I'm not sure. There was also like cool rainbow shooting stars in game throughout this time, which was cool. And there was also a cool battle bus in the game. Towards the end of the season, there's also been a few random weekly event things. So there was like a shadow one and a fire one, where they added like random weapons. Like the shadow was suppressed weapons, and the fire they added like the flame bow and the dragon breath shotgun. There were a few challenges relating to this, but it's not really very prominent. I think this week's just the bargain bin week to spend gold and stuff, because it's the end of the season, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much everything event-wise this season. So now on to the last section of the video, the story. I will be posting a separate video showing all of the vibing story quests in full, so if you want a more in-depth look at the story, which has been very good this season, go and check that video out. But here is a summary pretty much. So there were like 9 parts to these vibing quests. I'm just going to be going over all of them quickly. So in part 1 of the vibing quests, we are pretty much having a party celebrating the defeat of the IO at the end of last season. So we had to clear up some of the IO stuff as well. And we also started to help the scientists investigate the new reality seeds. In part 2 was a further investigation into the reality tree with the scientist. And he starts to think it's not really a good thing. It might be a bit evil. And we do in fact know this from the trailer this season, where that guy was holding that orb with the tree inside. So part 3 was when the Star Wars was added onto the map. So we investigate what they're doing and how they got here. And we also find out they came with a relic, which we need to find in part 4. And so we find out that the relic was thrown into the ocean and has washed up on shore. But when we go to where it should be on the shore, we find it's been stolen. So eventually we track it down to Rave Cave after using a decoy relic thing to make the guy who steal it take it back. And when we find it, it causes a magnitude 6 0-point energy shockwave, which we'll see more of and is not great. In part 5, another relic has come to the island, this time along with Indiana Jones. So we have to find all of the shards, attune all of them, and then reassemble them. However, when we do that, it causes another shockwave, this time with a magnitude of 7.2. In part 6, there's yet another relic, a chair. Eventually, we manage to break its shield and collect it, causing a magnitude 8.5 shockwave, which is, of course, not great. The magnitude's increasing every time, and the 8.5 one can apparently be felt light years away, so it's not great. In part 7, we find out all of the 7, apart from the Paradigm, have actually gone missing, which is not good. So we try and find them, starting with the Foundation, and then the Visitor, and the Imagined, and then the Order. But we can't find any of them. Throughout all of these parts as well, there's been a few side stories, but one more prominent one is that the scientist towards the start was programming an AI, which eventually we meet and is named Amy. And she has somehow managed to fall in love with the scientist, and she goes a bit crazy over him. As you can see, she's calling him daddy and stuff, which is, it's a bit weird for Fortnite, but yeah. So in part 8, we use an old 7 comms device, which the 0 point actually brought to us, to try and contact the scientist. Eventually we find out that the scientist, Visitor, and Origin are all in an underground research lab researching the strange substance spreading across the island. Now this substance could actually be seen in Spawn Island throughout the season, and people are theorizing it might be a big bad, a big enemy for the Fortnite mares next season. So in the final part of the vibing quest, we find out the Paradigm has actually gone missing as well now. and it just leaves us and Amy. But we do find some notes from the scientists telling us that the massive 0-point shockwaves are not actually evil, but instead a distress signal from the 0-point. This cements the fact that we already knew that the 0-point has always been and will be good, and is actually being drained by the reality tree. So hopefully in the trailer for the next season, we might see that we try and stop the reality trees draining the 0-point. We try and find the 7. We maybe try and stop this big goop thing. Ugh, it's gonna be intense. So the story in this whole season has been very cool, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next season. I will see you all for that in a few days. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and goodbye.